My lesson today is about algebraic fractions. It's a very simple process, but students, before they do that, they need to be able to simplify or add simple fractions. For example, if you had a half plus 2/3, the easiest way to teach this is multiply the denominator together and cross multiply that way. So you are changing actually the fraction to have the denominator to be 6. This gives you 3 up this way, and 2 times 2 is 4. Having the two denominators the same, all you have to do is add the top. So this would give me 7 over 6. We can easily change this fraction from a improper fraction to a mixed number. 6 goes into 7 once, remainder 1 over 6. Now, this time I'm going to use the same fraction, but I'm going to put x on them, the same fractions. We had a half plus 2/3. So I'm going to put, instead of the 1 x, I'm going to put an x next to the 2. Now, it's exactly the same thing. I'm going to have the same thing be done to the denominator. So multiply 2 by 3, which gives me the 6. Multiply the 3 by the x and the 2 by 2x. So that will give me 3x, and that will give me 4x. Now, as we used to collect like terms, and 3x and 4x is the same thing, so it would be 7x over 6. We could leave it this way if we want to. This is another example of algebraic fractions. We are doing multiplication at the moment. Before we multiply, as we normally do, top by top and bottom by bottom, which is numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator, we try and simplify it as much as possible. Now, from the top, I can see there is a 5. That can be divided by 5 gives me 1, and 25 divided by 5 gives me 5. Same goes for 3. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 9 divided by 3 is 3. That makes it much easier to multiply without using the calculator. Now, a times a, as we said previously, if there is nothing on top of the a, there's a 1, and there's a 1 there. So when we're multiplying any pronumerals and they have the same base, we just add the top. So the answer for the top would be a squared. At the bottom, all we're left with is 3 times 5, which is 15. This is just as simple as that. This is another example of division. Before we divide, there's a couple of rules. When you're dividing fractions, you will have to change the division to multiplication, and the second one you will flip it over. So we'll have to perform this before we actually proceed with the simplification. So we'll have x over 4 times 8 over 3x. Now you can see this is exactly as what we did previously in example 2. We'll have to simplify whatever we find from top with the bottom. So we have 4 and 8. 4 divided by 4 gives you 1. 8 divided by 4 gives you 2. This time I can cancel the x's because x here goes with that x. Now what's left up the top? 2. What's left down the bottom? Which is 3. So this is as simple as you can get. 2 over 3 from simplifying this whole algebraic expression. Another example, a little bit more complicated. We have 2x squared over 9 divided by 8x cubed over 21. So we're going to do exactly the same thing we did previously in example 3. We will write the first one as it is, so it'll be 2x squared over 9. The division becomes multiplication, flipping the second one over, the second fraction, so it'll be 21 over 8x cubed. Again, we'll have to see if there is anything we can simplify before we can proceed. So the 2, obviously with the 8, 2 divided by 2 gives you 1, 8 divided by 2 gives you 4. This is 9 and 21, and if you know your times table pretty well, you will know that 21 can be divided by 3, gives you 7, and 9 divided by 3 gives you 3. So up the top, all I was left with the numbers. 1 times 7 is 7, and down the bottom 3 times 4 is 12, and none of these can go into each other. Now I want you to pay attention to the x squared and the x cubed. This is as if you have x squared over x cubed. In other words, we'll have to say we subtract the indices. So we have 2 take away 3, which gives me 2 take away 3 gives you x to the minus 1. That can be written here as x minus 1 as an answer, or x to the power negative 1 can be written as 1 on x. So if you've given me the answer as 7 over 12, x is correct, or that way is correct. But if you've given me the answer as 7 over 12x, that's absolutely wrong, because the x with the power 3 is the bigger power is left at the bottom. So pay attention to that, please, and never make that mistake of putting the x next to the fraction.